afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the April 5th hybrid meeting of Chatham's Historic Business District Commission. As soon as our clerk, Sam Strybert, gets finished reading the governor's directives concerning these meetings, we'll do a roll call of the members who are present, and we'll be reviewing the applications this afternoon to make sure we have a quorum, and I'm sure we do. All right, Sam?
Okay, pursuant to Governor Healy's March 29th, 2023 signing of the Acts of 2023 extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Laws C-30A, paragraph 20, until March 31st, 2025. This meeting of the Chatham Historic Business District Commission being conducted in person and via remote participation. Every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided for in the order. A reminder that persons who would like to listen to this meeting while in progress may do so by calling the phone number 1-508-945-4410. Conference ID 501-607-685 or join the meeting online via Microsoft Teams through the link in the posted agenda. While this live broadcast and simulcast on Channel 18, despite our best efforts, we may not be able to provide for real-time access. We will post a record of this meeting on the town's website as soon as possible. In accordance with town policy, the public can speak to any issue, hearing, or business item on the agenda during the meeting when recognized by the chair. Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, Sam. All right, now for the roll call. We have our Vice Chair, Darcy Sequin, here virtually with us.
Sound.
Sound, is your mic on?
Darcy Sequin is here.
Very good. We have thank you, Darcy. Our clerk, Sam Strybert.
Sam Strybert is here.
Okay, we have a regular member, Bob Burns. Not Bob Burns, I'm sorry. Oh, that's on there. Doug Grattan, rather.
Doug Grattan is here.
Okay. And let's see, our first alternate, Steve DeBoer, is not here. Bob Burns is not here. And we have a new alternate, Tim Gilmore, and I'd like to say hello to him this evening. Tim, welcome.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here, and Tim Gilmore is present.
All right. Well, let's see, and the chairman, Dan Silver, is here. So we have a quorum. All right, you're going to be, Tim, you're going to be taking, what am I doing here, guys? Who, Bob's place? Yeah, you'll be taking Bob's place tonight. All right. Okay, so we have a quorum. Sam? Oh, the first order of business, I'm sorry, the minutes. And those are of, let's see, March 15th.
I have no questions.
All right.
Sam Strybert has no questions.
Hey, Doug?
Doug Grattan would like to make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
All right.
Darcy Sequin will second the motion.
The motion has been made and seconded. All right, we'll go down through here. Sam?
So Sam Strybert votes to approve.
Okay, Doug Grattan?
Doug Grattan votes to approve.
Okay, let's see. Dan Silver votes to approve. And that's all that can vote on that tonight. Those are the
Darcy
only, I'm
Sequin
sorry,
votes-
Darcy Sequin. I'm sorry, Darcy, I keep on forgetting you're not here. You're going to be here.
Okay. Darcy Sequin votes to approve.
You're right. Thank you, Darcy. All right. Okay, Sam.
Okay, we have the first signs meeting 23-37 Emma Bell's Cafe, care of Shane Coughlin, application to install a ground sign located at 71 Crowell Road. And the Sarah Clark, the central permitting coordinator, has determined that the proposed sign complies with the sign bylaw.
Good afternoon, sir. If you will introduce yourself and explain what you're proposing?
Excellent. Good afternoon. My name is Shane Coughlin. I'm here for Amabelle's Cafe, which is located at 69 Kroll Road, or 71 Kroll Road, depending on whether you're the post office or the building department. Formerly the Chatham Bakery. I'm here before you today to replace an existing ground sign. So the image on the left is the sign that is currently there, and I am proposing replacing that with the sign on the right. The width of the sign on the right is 48 inches wide and 36 inches tall, so it is approximately the same size as the existing sign. I chose not to put any ladder signs at this point. I do understand if I wanted to add them at some point, I would have to come back to you. I thought we would just keep it simple. As far as the posts go, I was going to try to reuse those posts. I am planning on changing the lighting. The existing lighting actually is overhead. You can kind of just see it to the right of this image. And then I was planning on using some ground lighting down by the bushes to uplight it. The image, that flower is a wild rose. It is a little shade of pink, and the little orange berries are rose hips, and those are a little slight color of orange. The leaves are green, and then Amabelle's Cafe is in black.
Well, that's pretty straightforward. Thank
Yeah.
you. Sam?
Seems okay. Will you be leaving the ladders or just removing them until you figure out what you're gonna do?
I'm gonna remove them, so the sign would look just like that image on the right.
Okay.
And then I need a little time to kind of work my new spot. And then if I decide to put some ladder signs, I would come back in for approval for that.
Okay, well, that sounds pretty good. I like the flower, and I prefer their letter font to your rather plain, simple font, but that's a very small item, and I don't think it detracts from the sign at all, so.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Tim?
A question regarding the proposed lighting. How would you describe that at the base of the sign?
I think if we could click through a couple of images, I did provide a photo of that. So that would sit on the ground. It is approximately, so if you look at the diagram on the bottom, it's gonna be about 9 inches tall, and I think it's about 7 inches wide. You're not gonna be able to actually see the fixture through the shrubs. So if I was the sign, the two fixtures would be on either side of it, glowing upwards.
Okay, and would the sign or the lights be on the entire time?
Typically, what I would do is I'd probably have the sign lights off, in the summer, probably an hour after dark, probably in the winter, maybe go a little later, maybe 2 hours after dark. I'm still working on my hours, so if I was open, say I was open till 7, I'd keep the lights on if it was dark out. If we were closing at 5, I'd wait an hour or two, but they won't be on all night.
Thank you.
Doug?
Yeah, I think it's a great looking sign, and I have no questions, so.
Okay, Darcy?
I agree. I think it's very appropriate for the area, and I like the flowers are great. It's just a little pop of color, brings it right out.
Thank you, Darcy, and I have no problems whatsoever with it in the historic district.
All right, so Doug Rat will make a motion on the signs, application 23-037, Amabelle's Cafe, care of Shane Coughlin. Application to install a ground sign located at 71 Kroll Road as presented.
Darcy
Doug.
Sequin will second the motion.
Okay, motion is made and seconded. All right, Darcy?
Darcy Sequin approves.
Sam?
Sam Strybert approves.
Tim?
Tim Gilmore approves.
Doug?
Doug Ratton approves.
Dan Silver approves too. All righty. Next, Sam.
So we have, sign number 23-38, Emma Bell's Cafe, care of Shane Coughlin, application to install a wall sign located at 71 Crowell Road. And the central permitting coordinator has determined that the proposed sign complies with the sign bylaw.
Very good. If you'll reintroduce yourself, sir, I'm sorry.
No, that's no problem. Good afternoon. I'm Shane Coughlin. I'm here for Emma Bell's Cafe at 71 Crowell Road. And I'm here today to ask permission to install a new sign at 71 Crowell Road. So the image we are looking at is the right side of the building, which faces Collins Lane. The image that you see in white was the original T111 that was on the building. I was here a few months ago. The image up on the right shows that we have put white cedar shingles, and I was very fortunate to acquire those, which is excellent. So that work's actually being done now, so you can see that we installed some windows on that side of the building. And I don't know what you call that trim board that's above the windows, but that's been installed. And what I was looking to do was install a sign on that side of the building facing Collins Lane. And that sign is approximately 120 inches long by 27 inches tall. The font is the same for Emma Bell's as it is out front. And that font is in black. And then that pink color is the same color as the rose on the flower out front. A couple of slides down, I do have some samples of the lighting that I was going to propose. It's similar to what I've seen in other, I guess you'd call that a gooseneck. And I just looked around at some other businesses in town that use them. That would be approximately about a foot over the sign, and it would shine down onto the sign. And in regards to your question earlier, I would probably turn that off at the same time the front sign light would go off. And I can answer any questions if you have them.
Let's find out if there are any. Darcy?
Yeah, I think it's great. The pop of color again looks good. The only thing is I'd ask that if you could center the light and then center the sign under it. I know the rendering shows it off a little bit, but I think that would be great if you could just center everything with that top ridge.
Oh, and I actually, I should have stipulated, and thank you for bringing that up, Darcy. I was proposing 3 fixtures, so one centered, and then the other 2 on the left and right of it.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Thank you.
And thank you for bringing that up.
Sam?
I think you described the sign as having a black background.
Oh,
You meant black lettering.
I meant black lettering,
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, black and white, you know.
So the background would be white, like the front sign. The
Right.
lettering would be black, and then that border would be that same
I-
pink.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay?
It's sort of too bad that the windows aren't centered with the ridge of so that the whole thing could be brought into order. So you're gonna favor the ridge line rather than the windows. I mean, you could center them over the windows.
I was planning, yes, I chose the ridge line as opposed to the windows.
I think that works as well. And you state now that there are 3 lights. So
There would be 3 lights,
Yeah.
that
Got-
same gooseneck look. We
Yeah.
would center so if we're centering the sign on the ridge line, that middle light would be centered on the ridge line. And then since it's 128 inches across, I just split the difference, so it's 60. So that center, it would be, the one on the left would be 30 inches from that, and the one on the right would be 30 inches. So it would all be,
That's interesting. So that's putting them at the quarter points. And I find that if you try to balance the quarter points with the whole, the sides just appear too wide. And so think about it a little bit
Okay.
and look at it and what balances it well, because taking the two side ones, just 4 inches, 6 inches wider
Towards the edge of the sign?
toward the edge of
Sure.
the sign seems to balance the thing out.
So instead of just going right down the middle, maybe tweak it over a little bit, 4 inches or so?
Something that would
Sure.
be my suggestion.
We can certainly look at that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You'll see it when you mock it up on the ground, put
Mm-hmm.
the two lights down and you say, no.
Okay. I would have no issue with that.
Yeah.
Tim?
I don't have any questions. I approve of the sign. I think it's a good-looking sign. I think the lighting will do well, the way it's been proposed.
Doug?
I feel the same. I think it's a good sign. I like the lighting selection they chose, so I think it will look good.
Yeah, I don't think it could get any simpler.
I
Straightforward.
figured year one, we would try to keep it simple, so.
Doug?
Okay, so Doug Grant will make a motion under signs, application 23-038, Emma Bell's Cafe, care of Shane Coughlin. Application to install a wall sign located at 71 Kroll Road as presented.
Darcy Sequin will second the motion.
Okay, motion is made and seconded. Darcy?
Darcy Sequin approves.
Okay, Sam Stryver?
Sam Stryver approves.
Tim?
Tim Gilmore approves.
Doug Grattan?
Doug Grattan approves.
And Dan Silver approves. Very good.
Excellent.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
Good luck, Shane.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for making it simple.
So we next have additions and alterations. 23-41, Captain's Table Restaurant, care of Walter Fogg. Application to replace 4 windows on the structure located at 576 Main Street.
Very good. Do we have a representative here or the
On the
applicants
screen.
themselves?
He's,
Oh, they keep on doing that to me. Good afternoon, sir. If you'll introduce yourself and explain briefly what you're considering doing?
Yeah, I'm Walter Fogg, and it's 576 Main Street, Captain's Table, and the 4 windows are pretty old, and they need to be replaced. So that's what we're doing.
All right, do we have any pictures for the viewing audience?
here's some pictures.
They're in the packet.
Okay, Mr. Fogg, I'm going to ask you what's there now and what are the windows that you're proposing to replace them with?
What's there now, I believe they were installed in 80, I think it was around 82 or 84 when the building was renovated or rebuilt. And it's wooden, and it's there's a lot of wear and tear on it, and they're failing now. And we want to replace them with an Anderson 400 series, which is a double hung, and it's going to be the same as what was there as far as a double hung window. There's nothing different as far as like how they open and how they operate. And they will have, what's in there now is a 12 over 12 panel as far as what it looks like. And I was gonna look into seeing if I could get a 6 over 6 panel window. It's just, I think it's easier to get, and it's a little cheaper, but it's the same quality window, but it's just more expensive when you go to 12 over 12. And that's about all it is. I mean, it's an Anderson window. All the specs, I believe, is in the packet, and it tells you everything that's rated and all that stuff. So.
All righty, let's find out what they think. Darcy?
Yeah, I think that was a better choice, the 6 over 6 instead of 12 over 12. That's my only comment.
Sam?
Well, to be honest, the 12 over 12 is what you have now. And, you know, they're scaled for the type of windows that are very common in Chatham, in the business district. And so unless other people feel strongly about it, I think the windows are good size, very, very big, bigger than the door that they flank on. And I think the 6 over 6 would look a little bare. So my vote would be to maintain the 12 over 12.
Okay.
Thank you, Sam. Tim?
In looking at what's there now, with the 12 over 12, I do see aesthetically that, I think it may look a little better than the proposed alteration. So I tend, unless there was a significant, impediment such as cost or, you know, obtaining the window, I'd like to see,
Right.
I'd like to see it stay the way it is.
Sure, sure. No, I mean, I know from the research I've done, it is more expensive. And as far as getting it, I guess it's a crapshoot no matter what you do when you're trying to get all these products. So you know, we can just see, you know, what availability is once we get there, so.
Okay. Doug?
I see Darcy's raising her hand. Should I wait till Darcy speak or want me to speak first? What would you prefer to?
Thanks, Doug. The only reason I said 6 over 6 because the building that's adjacent to it is all solid pane window, and I just thought it would look very busy to have 12 over 12. That was my only comment. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Fogg, are these applied grills? Snap-ins?
They're on the inside of the pane of the glass.
They're snap-ins.
You know, what's that?
They're snap-in grills.
No, they're actually built into the glass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that does make a big difference in the cost, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just being a restaurant and just, it's just for maintenance purposes and customers and everything, just deliveries, you know, those grills aren't very sturdy, let's just say, they're not sturdy,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Okay, well, if there were snap-ins, I would ask that you go to 12 over 12, but since they're built
Right.
in, yeah. All right,
So I agree with the 12 over 12, but I don't know how I feel about the grills being between the glass. And I think, you know, Sam knows a lot more about this. Would you have any comments on that, Sam, with the?
Well, because when they're snap-ins, they are available for people to,
Yeah.
when they put their coats on, you know, to hit them but when they're sandwiched between the grills, they're completely safe. And it doesn't look as good to have them between the glass because at certain angles, you see the shine of the glass rather than the grills. But when you're looking through them like this, you see it just as you would before, and I think they make a big difference.
All right, so I would have no problem with the grills in between the glass, but I would like the 12 over 12, excuse me, so.
yeah, if I may add, the grills that are built in from a distance makes the window with reflection look like a single pane of glass. You can't see the grills at all.
So that would satisfy Darcy's comment.
Well, it depends, you gotta
Well,
stand
yeah.
in the right
Well,
place,
if
you
you go
move
over-
6 inches and all of a
Right.
sudden you see.
If you go over Bridge Street and look to the right, as you're headed towards town, there's a house over on the island there that has, you know, they're just, same thing, built-in grills, and they just look like gold windows. You don't see any breakup on them, but I agree with Sam, so, all righty. We're all done?
So,
All right, so Doug Brown will make a motion under addition/alterations 23-041, Captain's Table Restaurant, care of Walter Fogg. Application to replace 4 windows on the structure located at 576 Main Street with 12/12 windows.
Darcy Seacon will second the motion.
Did he say that right? You're gonna go with 12/12?
That's what I.
Oh, all right.
That's what I thought, I'm sorry, well, that's
fine.
my comment, did we discuss that, or should we have, I'm sorry.
No, that's, okay, I thought you were gonna go with 6/6. Fine, 12/12, if you made the motion, and Doug, Darcy has seconded, Darcy?
I did.
Okay, all right,
I'm not in favor of it.
all right, fine. All right, Darcy?
I'm going to abstain.
Oh, well, Sam?
Sam Stryber approves.
Okay, Tim?
Tim Gilmore approves.
Doug?
Doug Grattan approves?
And Dan Silver approves. Very good, all right.
Okay. Site improvement, 23-039, TPG Highlander, LLC, care of Joe Gorshi. Application to install 32 mini-split condensers located at 946 and 958 Main Street.
Hi again.
Aye.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you? Good to see you guys again. So that's building 3. This is our mock-up that Jay Briggs and Sarah we were emailing back and forth with. So that's installed behind building 3, which abuts to the cemetery. You can't see it from the street, but since the building is too close to the property line, we put the condenser on the building. And then every other condenser for the other buildings will be on the ground. But that's,
Oh, good.
yeah.
So these are raised in order to deal with the zoning board of appeals?
Correct.
Okay.
And
How far above the ground are they?
it's a minimum of 8 feet. 8 feet.
8 feet.
That's the minimum clearance is 8 feet. We had to have it a little farther off the building just so we can service our gutters.
Okay.
So that's why it's not tight on the
it's-
building.
It's the 4 buildings along the bottom there?
Yeah, so it's the 6 rooms on the bottom and everything else will be on the ground on a pad.
Zoning. Okay.
Tim?
And this is, the reason they're raised is obviously to be in compliance with ZBA directives or rules, correct?
That's correct.
And that's the only place they could be placed on the building in order to circumvent the requirements?
Yeah,
Or
correct.
Okay. I don't have any questions.
Doug?
I'm fine with it.
Okay, Darcy, have I gone to you or forgotten you what? Oh, you
Yeah,
abstained, right?
No, I'm fine with it, thank you.
Okay. Would someone please enlighten me on what the ZBA rules exist that requires those to be 8 feet off the ground? Sarah?
It's not a ZBA rule, it's part of our protective bylaw. We have certain setbacks for exterior mechanical system appliances, which this would fall under, that when they are at ground level, they are required in a GB3 zoning district to meet a 15-foot setback, which this property is not able to do because the building itself is located right on the setback. So if they're elevated, it doesn't have that requirement for the setback.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I spent all that time on the web trying to check out why they weren't at ground level. I mean, some of these are no bigger than a shoebox. You know, but you still have to put a shoebox 8 feet off the ground, right? Only because of setback. Thank
That's
you, Sarah.
correct.
You learn something every day.
Okay, under site improvement, application 23-039, TPG Highlander LLC, care of Joe Borgie. Application to install 32 mini-split condensers located at 946 and 958 Main Street as presented.
Darcy Seacon will second the motion.
Mr. Chairman, can I just ask another question?
Oops, it's out, go get it. Excuse me, Sam. Darcy, can you take over, please?
Go ahead, Sam, you have a question?
I just have a question about the other there's 4 on the building, so 32, says 28 all on the ground. How has the, do you have any general ideas about how these units are gonna be screened in any way, or are they just gonna be sitting, are they gonna have some
They're-
landscaping around them, or?
There's landscaping throughout the property. We don't plan, they're gonna be behind the buildings, tight to the building line, so the hotel guests won't see them. But there'll
Okay.
be landscaping throughout. I mean, you'll see some of them. We didn't,
Oh,
we have,
so you'll keep them close to the building?
yeah, they'll be,
But they'll be down?
correct, yeah, they'll be on the ground close to the buildings. You'll see some of them, because if you walk around the property, I mean, you'll see them, but we didn't plan on fencing them in or anything like that, but we have landscaping throughout. Building 1, you'll be able to see.
Okay, you all set?
Yep. Doug?
Dan, you're back, go ahead.
Are you back, Dan?
Yeah,
Let her know.
I'm back,
The
Darcy.
motion- The motion's been made and seconded, Dan, so go ahead for a vote.
All right, very good. Darcy?
Darcy votes in favor.
Sam?
Sam Strybert votes in favor.
Tim?
Tim Gilmore in favor.
Doug?
Doug Ratton votes in favor.
And I'm now in favor. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, now we have administrative approvals exemptions. 23-40, Michael Turpin, ratification of a certificate of administrative approval to replace the existing roof and gutters on the structure located at 2533 Main Street.
So this one was Doug and Sam, and they were looking to replace the roof shingles with a query gray color.
Any questions from the board? No?
I make a motion? All right, so Doug Ratton will make a motion on administrative approval / exemptions, application 23-040, Michael Turpin, ratification of a certificate of administrative approval to replace the existing roof and gutters on the structure located at 2533 Main Street as presented.
Darcy Sequin will second the motion.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Darcy?
Darcy Sequin votes in favor.
All right, Sam?
Sam Strybert votes in favor.
Tim?
Tim Gilmore in favor.
Doug?
Doug Ratton votes in favor.
Dan Silva moves in favor as well. All right,
Okay. 23-43, Matthew Spencer, ratification of a certificate of administrative approval to replace a window on the structure, on the structure located at 71 Enterprise Drive.
This application was reviewed by Doug and Darcy, and the window was replaced in like kind. It was broken panes, just damage, and it's allowed under an administrative approval because they are in an industrial park.
What 71 Enterprise?
Spencer and Co., the building.
Oh, okay, yep, I know it now. Yep.
okay, any other questions from the commission? No?
So Doug Ratton will make a motion on administrative approval / exemptions, application 23-043, Matthew Spencer, ratification of a certificate of administrative approval to replace a window on the structure located at 71 Enterprise Drive as presented.
Darcy Sequin will second the motion.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Darcy. All right. Darcy?
Darcy Sequin approves.
Okay, Sam?
Sam Strybert approves.
Tim?
Tim Gilmore approves.
Doug?
Doug Ratton approves.
Dan Silva approves as well. Thank you. All righty.
Application 23-46, Fleur F. Jones, Revocable Trust, care of Scott D. Morris. Ratification of a certificate of administrative approval to replace the roof on the structure at 483 Main Street.
So this one was also Doug and Darcy, and it was to replace the rear section of the roof behind the Lilly Pulitzer building.
Oh, my gosh.
They were replacing it with a shake wood. They were also replacing the rotted rake boards. So where it's circled in red, that was the area they were replacing.
Wow.
All right. Any questions? Sam?
No questions.
Kim?
No questions.
Okay, Doug?
No questions, so Doug Grant will make a motion under administrative approval / exemptions, application 23-046, Fleur F. Jones Revocable Trust, care of Scott D. Morris. Ratification of certificate of administrative approval to replace the roof on the structure located at 483 Main Street as presented.
Darcy Sequin will second the motion.
Okay, motion's made and seconded. Darcy?
Darcy Sequin approves.
Sam?
Sam Stryver approves.
Tim?
Tim Gilmore approves.
Doug?
Doug Grattan approves.
And Dan Silver approves as well. Thank you, folks.
So the next application is 23-47, Turner Veach, nominee trust, care of David Veach. Ratification of certificate of exemption to repair the front of the structure located at 484 Main Street. So that's Candy Manor, right?
Yes, that's the Candy Manor building. There was an accident, and so he applied for a certificate of exemption to repair it. As it stands, this was also done by Doug and Darcy.
Sugar degradation of the exterior.
Was that an accident or attack?
That's a joke.
It was an accident, yeah. And everything will be replaced in like kind.
Okay, any questions from the commission? No?
All right, so under administrative approval / exemptions, application 23-047, Turner Veach Nominee Trust, care of David Veach. Ratification of a certificate of exemption to repair the front of the structure located at 484 Main Street as presented.
Darcy Sequin will second the motion.
Okay, motion is made and seconded. Darcy?
Darcy Sequin approves.
Sam?
Sam Stryver approves.
Tim?
Tim Gilmore approves.
Doug?
Doug Grattan approves.
And Dan Silver approves as well. Very good. All right. This gets us down to what, Sam? That's it?
That's it.
That's it.
Doug Grattan will make a motion to adjourn.
Darcy Sequin will second the motion.
Okay, motion is made and seconded. Darcy?
Darcy Sequin approves.
Sam?
Sam Stryver approves.
Tim?
Tim Gilmore approves.
Doug?
Doug Grattan approves.
Dan Silver approves. Thank you so much, folks.